YouTube, I'm going to be talking to you guys today about how I found my winning product. So I'm just going to be going through how I personally found my winning product, the first one that made me a lot of money and basically, I can consider like a winning product. There were products before that made sales, but were kind of inconsistent. But talking about the first one that was like a winning product, something that was kind of, something that had a big fuse under it that was kind of, trending and was kind of like brought in a lot of money at a fast pace. I've heard a lot of other people's thoughts on how you find a winning product in 2025 and stuff like that. And I don't disagree with a lot of it. Obviously, scrolling on TikTok is a big one that people say to do because obviously, TikTok is the meta right now for winning products and kind of drop shipping and all that, and mixing that up with meta ads and stuff like that. PP ads, the list goes on and on. But I'm just going to be telling you guys literally exactly how I found mine, what I did to find mine. And so you could try it too. And maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But I'm just telling you how I did it. So without further ado, how I did it was on Kalo Data. So I'm here now. So obviously Kalo Data is not a secret website. This is very well known. Kalo Data, just like the one I mentioned earlier, PP ads. So again, I'm just taking you through how I did it. So what I did when I found it was, something that everybody should be doing is, just basic kind of product research. I made a video on product research a couple weeks ago. Also, you guys seem to like that video. But so it's just doing product research simply. So it's kind of like the same thing you would do on PPS, same thing you would do on TikTok, anything like that. I'm just showing you how I did it on Kalo Data. So if you're gonna be dropshipping, you have to do some type of product research. Obviously, it kind of goes without saying. This video is not really for people that are super experienced. You know how to do it already, but especially for people who are not, who are novices, you're gonna have to get in that mode of thinking like a e-com brand owner, which is gonna be just to start doing product research, which is what's trending, what's moving. And so, for example, being on Kalo Data right now, we can see some of this stuff. This is the number one top product from June 22nd in the last month, June 22nd to July 21st. It's a blurring setting powder. We got number 2 is Peel Shot Glow Rice Ampoule Duo. I don't even know what that is. Some type of exfoliation liquid. I've seen this brand around though, the Dr. Melixen. And then number 3 is Metabolic Balance Patches. And then we got the Goalie gummies. I've seen those a lot. So stuff like that is what you want to kind of get in the mindset of kind of using to find a winning product. So stuff like this, obviously you don't want to take this product and try to go head to head with one size, this brand, but it shows you if this product did 3.2 million in revenue in the last 30 days, sold 92,000 product in the last 30 days, it can give you some inspiration. Something like that is the number one product that's selling right now on Kalo, according to Kalo Data. And it's, it can give you can use this for a reference. So it's a blurring setting powder. I don't know much about makeup, obviously, but it's a blurring setting powder. It's 1.2 ounces and it sells for $35. So obviously they're doing something. Maybe they have, obviously they're going to have, trust signals. I don't know how big of a brand this is, but they obviously have built trust. They obviously have a quality product and things like that. So those are things you can, you gotta obviously use all of this as reference when you're doing product research. price points and all of that. So stuff like that. This is obviously, we're looking straight at the top of the top selling stuff, but we have, you know, a bunch of stuff obviously all through Kalo Data. These obviously, the Labubus were super trendy. I mean, look at this. They got prices as much as $296 for these. I don't know if that's even real, but selling as low as $32. I'm sure you get that pretty cheap. And this brand is Pop Mart. They've been one of the leaders in selling these, at least from what I've seen on Kalo Data. So again, your competition is another thing that you're gonna have to be really cognizant of. But yeah, just seeing all this stuff that's selling, obviously the beach stuff, and using this stuff as references. You know, you can kind of try to be a little bit brash and try to copy these stuff outright and try to make it, you know, as close to, you know, this stuff as possible. Probably not going to get far doing that. You're going to have to make some tweaks at a minimum. What I would recommend, what I did actually, was get a product, or I found a product that was doing very well, put my spin on it. So that's angle, creatives, design, you know, kind of everything. The only thing that we kept when we started the brand and started to scale was pretty much that core, kind of the core product physically. I mean, pretty much in all aspects, keeping that core foundation, but in a way that somebody can see that new product and the product you got the inspiration from, and they could almost not even tell the difference, if you kind of get what I mean. So keeping that core foundation of why it was selling so much in the first place, you know, whether it was, you know, the focus point of the problem solving, whether it was be the design, the creative stuff like that, keeping that there as the foundation, but changing other things around it to make it your own. So that was kind of my strategy that I could say, again, what I did. People obviously are going to have different levels of success doing different types of things. If you look on Kalo Data, there's some stuff that's the same shit, like that's selling a bunch. I mean, that's something you got to realize as well when you're doing this e-commerce stuff. There's products selling the same shit and they're all making millions, you know, same shit, different color, same shit, different, slightly different tweak, and they're all making millions. So that's the thing you gotta be cognizant of. I want you guys to get on Kalo Data, do the same thing, and get in that mindset of, like, you know, not necessarily just looking at all this stuff that's at the top that's making millions a month, you know, but just getting inspiration and making tweaks. And to me, that's one of the best mentalities you can have when you're starting e-commerce and trying to find that winner, so to speak. I know that idea is kind of faded and differentiated these days in e-commerce and stuff, but that's the mentality I think is the best for starting out, is finding something that is working and make tweaks. So that's just me. This is exactly how I found my winning product. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.